Hello, hello, how are you? Day one coaching challengers. I totally forget what the name of it. Well, not forget. I forget the specifics of what this group is called. Anyhow, that's not the purpose. All right, the purpose is to give you a recap of what my takeaways for day one were. And they were phenomenal. I brought notes, of course. I brought notes. And ILT, you might have seen that in the title and you're like, what is ILT? Well, that's why I have notes. And ILT, invest your money, invest your time, invest something, investing your time, learning it. So I learned a whole bunch today, took notes, and teaching it. So I'm doing this as my recap. It also teaches me on my video presence. It also solidifies the notes that I wrote that I can take action on later. So in my way, shape, or form, this is how I learn better. I invest my time, I learn it, then I teach somebody, and then, I go back and review it. But that's just me. Okay, I digress. I'm sorry. Wow, Wowzers was today jam-packed full of information. Holy cow. Before this thing even started, I was nervous and I was excited with anticipation of getting it going. So that was cool. And if you're like me, you felt the same way. From James, right at the beginning, like talking about participation and growing and bringing value to the group and like asking questions and like embracing the community aspect of this group. That's what he was pushing for. And I 100% wholeheartedly agree. 100%. And actually, towards the end, Sage had mentioned the same thing with the participation in groups and, taking the content and forming a movement. That was made clear. So that's happening in this group as well. Oh, by the way, thank you very much for everybody that watched my introduction video and popped on and said hi. That's awesome. That's a group community. Love you guys. Here's another thing before we even got into Brian Tracy, which, holy cow. Work on and in your business. That came from James. And knowing the difference between working on and working in your business. Now, I believe I kind of had a general scope of that. I don't know if I necessarily had broken it down into that sort of definition. Yeah, I know about marketing and promoting and, producing my content. That would be working on the business, okay? Then there's working in the business, which is actually the dealing with the clients, providing the value, and coaching and teaching and mentoring, doing the thing that you're promoting. So the work on and work in the business, there's a difference. And I think honestly, I just characterized it as one big thing that these are just things I need to do. But, to have a separate segment of growing it and working in it, okay, all right, I'll buy that. Well, I did. It was a writer downer for me. Oh, and here's something that was mentioned before we got to Brian Tracy as well. And man, this kind of hit home for me, like when I homeschool my daughter. That's like doing the homework, taking action, accountability, produces a habit and a routine. Those are things I do myself that I'm coaching. Well, I'm coaching, teaching, training. No, I'm parenting my daughter to do the same thing. So to take that type of mentality into this group, of course. I'm investing my time. I want to get the most out of it that I possibly can. So yes, I am going to take the action steps, do the homework, and provide value and ask questions. Thank you so much for putting this on. That's excellent. All right, now let's get into Brian Tracy notes. Whew. Well, Brian Tracy, he came in and gave us a recipe. All right. He also told us to take personal responsibility. He also asked us to, or highly suggested, to take the money up front. All right. Well, I could stop there, but let me get into these a little bit more. I like the advanced pay method. I like that. I think I've known about that, but there's something about the words and how he described it that really resonated and made it make 100% sense to have the advanced pay and be happy to, like, hey, if it doesn't work for you and you don't like it, I'll give you your money back. Totally cool. Here's another thing I like about the advanced pay. I've noticed from my personal experience that when I pay for something and it's not given to me for free, like if I pay for it, I'm more vested in it than I would be if it was just free or gimme, or, well, it was free, so I'll get around to it. If you're expecting your client to pay up front, well, you're gonna get on those Zoom calls. There is action gonna be taken. There are, all of a sudden the client has skin in the game. Asking for payment up front totally makes sense. That was a writer downer. Got it here. Gonna implement it ASAP. Prospects or suspects. I like that. That's a cute saying. Basically, what that means to me is, sorting and filing. Compartmenting people is, are they a yes person? Are they a no person? Spend the time on the yeses. No's, yeah, I'll follow up in 3 months or something like that. Whatever the follow-up schedule is. Ask again. Cool. Well, keep asking until they buy or die. Buy or die. That's what we used to do in real estate. There was never a time where a prospect went off your list unless they were rude to you, had physical violence towards you, or something or literally died. Then they're off your list. But there's always follow-up. Follow-up until they buy or die. But so the prospect or suspect is, are they a prospect, itching to maybe buy or have a want, need, or desire for your product or service? Or are they on the back burner of, maybe someday? The best way to make a friend and to build rapport and confidence, shut your damn mouth and just ask questions and listen. Literally not saying anything, because people like to talk about themselves. And if you just go, oh wow, that's interesting, then what? You might not even have to say anything, but at the end of whatever type of situation you're having that conversation, maybe if it's at a dinner party after the pandemic's away, and you're having a conversation with a prospect, but they don't think that they're a prospect, and you just ask questions and listen. At the end of the dinner party, you might have probably said 15 words, but all you did was listen. I almost guarantee that person is going to walk away and be like, man, you know what? That Ryan J guy, oh man, he is now my bestie. Because you spent the time and the effort to just listen. All right, what else we got? Oh, hey, let's get into this recipe. Well, there's the prospect, and then there's the trust, and then there's the clear on their need. Present them, answer the questions or objections, ask for the sale, and then deliver it. That's the long and the short of the recipe. Prospect, that goes up into the prospect or suspect, all right? Trust and rapport. Now, I find this kind of interesting because I'm not really a rapport builder per se. I'm more of a get to the point kind of thing and ask if what I have to offer may be of service or of value, because I'm looking at it as in the era of social media we're in right now, with everything available, I don't spend much time building rapport because they're going to do their own investigative reporting and research on me anyway. They're going to check out my YouTube, which has content. They're going to check out my Instagram to see what I post. They're going to check out my Facebook to see what I post. They're going to everything, lo and behold, believe it or not, and you do this too because I know I do, I check people out. I check out their social media. So in a sense, it's building rapport without even actually building rapport in the traditional sense. Follow? That's how I view it. Well, actually, that's how it is. That's how it is these days. So, well, with that being said, a little minute detail on that, I try and make sure that my social media is kind of clean. Every once in a while there's a joke, but for the most part, I try and provide content, uplifting messages, quotes, good videos. Keep it clean. So that's the trust and rapport, the clear definition of what they want or what they're looking for. And even if you could provide it for them. So that is an absolute must conversation to have. If they're having water leak problems in their basement and I provide personal coaching, oh, geez, we don't need to have this conversation anymore. I can Google a plumber in your area and help you out that way. But this is my niche over here. So it's really, really key to have that conversation and find out, even one, if you vibe, two, if what I have could be a benefit to you and may or may not. And, have you checked out my stuff? And if you dig it, cool. If not, cool. So getting a clear answer or motivation on their part. And then show them, hey, here's what I do. Here's what I've done. Take it from Kathy over here. Take it from Brian over here. Here's some social proof. People like social proof because, man, it's not a the Joneses type thing. It's more of a, oh, well, all these other people over here are doing it and they have good results. Maybe I should look on over here and see what kind of results they're having. Social proof, kind of like the Yelp review. Almost the same thing, a Yelp review. Maybe I should put Yelp reviews on a couple of my pages. Is that a thing if I don't own a restaurant? I don't know. Then present it to them. Okay, well, from what I understand of your wants, needs, desires, and your goals, here's what I can do for you. Here's the course we're going to take. So lay out your presentation. Answer the questions and objections. I like this one. And here's how I, more likely than not, answer questions or objections. I'm like, you know what I offer may or may not be a fit for you. But then I also like throwing this in here. Well, what would happen if you didn't do it? If you don't take action in some way, shape, or form, well, history is going to repeat itself, and you're going to end up being in the exact same spot that you were before, even before you even talked to me. So what would happen if you didn't do it? Oh, well, the same old, same old. Oh, you're absolutely right. So, and then I had to write this down too. And this is from, why don't you give it a try? BT, why don't you give it a try? And then ask for the sale. So, you ready to get started? All right, when would you like your first coaching call? That type of asking for the sale. And then deliver it, and that's what we do. You and I do. Deliver it. All right. Oh, now we're going to go to taking responsibility. I like this. I'm a wholehearted believer in taking 100% personal responsibility for the good things that happen to you and the bad things that happen to you. And do not blame anybody else other than yourself. I am a firm believer in that. Firm. So I like to hear that. Setting goals, absolutely paramount. Absolutely paramount. You have to have a goal. If you don't have a goal, then you just slide into your comfort and ease. Actually, comfort and ease is not comfort and ease. Anytime I've binge watched any kind of Netflix show, which is comfort and ease, there's never been a time after the end of binge watching it, I feel better. Man, I'm sure glad I watched 8 hours of whatever, so it's important to have a goal, for sure. And personal development, man, that never gets old. Never, ever, ever. I am so blessed and grateful and full of gratitude that I learned how to learn and actually enjoy the process. Love it. So, hats off to BT, Brian Tracy. That was excellent. Now, Sage. Man, dynamic woman. Dynamic. I liked her talking about chaos. Chaos for growth. All right, that's, and she used a super scientific term or something like that, or put it very, very eloquently, let's say that, about her definition of chaos. Now, me, I'm just a regular guy and I'm not that fancy with words, but so chaos means that there's some sort of difficulty, which the difficulty in the endocrine system or however you change is like, holy crap balls, we need to change, and by change we need to adapt and overcome, so let's get better. That's my layman's take on that, and 100% wholeheartedly agree. She also talked about backstory, all right, things that have happened to her. Okay, we all have a backstory. Nobody has been perfect. Matter of fact, if you're perfect and you don't have a backstory, then you're abnormal, because having a dysfunctional childhood is probably actually normal. So embracing what happened to you and not letting it define you, it's part of what happened to you that has forged the character that you are today, and it's not who you are, it's what happened to you that has brought you to whatever movement, whatever bigger cause, whatever dynasty you may want to leave on this earth, your message, that, and cultivating your backstory into a story which you can push out onto the marketplace to make a difference, that is truly embracing your power and you living you and you being you. And you being you, there's no competition. There's absolutely no competition in you being you. You know, so that's cool. And she talked about, holy smokes, has the word gamification totally overtaken the conversation? And I'm like, huh? Gamification? This is the first time I've heard gamification. Let me write this down. I need to know. It's just another way of presenting challenges, a call to action, action steps, or incentives. So asking whoever's in your tribe to take some sort of form of action, I think is what gamification is, per my definition. But we could get into that a little bit more. Maybe I should watch it again. I'm gonna have to, because halfway through listening to Sage, I must have kicked the internet plug or something, or Control Alt Delete. I don't know what happened, but it cut off. So I missed our homework. I'm gonna have to review and find out what our homework is, what type of action we're supposed to be taking, and I'm 100% excited for tomorrow. I don't know. Like I said, I got a review because I kicked the internet plug. She talked about the importance of Facebook groups and Facebook pages and providing and cultivating a community of love towards a similar goal and value. Man, that it really is genius. It really is genius. Me personally, I've had success with that in running several different challenges in Facebook groups. It's really locking arms. And I'll ask people, hey, if you'd like to be part of this secret special group, raise your hand if you're involved, if you want to take the challenge or be involved. And entering into a loving community with like-minded goals, like-minded values, and they're all in there for the same reason, whether it be coaching, teaching, and training, whether it be a 60-hour water fast, whether it be marketing, they're all in there for a reason. I've really had success with Facebook pages, and then creating other groups in the page. So that's type of cool, or that is really awesome tool to use. And that's where I kicked the plug. That's my ILT, my takeaways. And man, today was fire. I can't wait for tomorrow. I hope you guys got value out of it as well today. Can't wait to see your videos and see your takeaways. Till next time, bye-bye.